Hey, Nick, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Where are you located at today?
Tampa, Florida.
How's the weather?
It's like 58 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's actually extremely cold for us.
I'm sorry to hear that.
How's it over there?
We have a good day. I think it's like going to be 60 degrees. It's kind of been warm here in Denver.
Gotcha. We're gonna get up to 80 degrees today, so it's still gonna get hot.
Cool. How often do you get to go to the beach?
Not with this cold weather.
No.
But we're probably going like on the weekends, just like hang out, but not to actually go in the water because it's cold.
Yeah. Last place I was in Florida was St. Pete's.
Oh yeah, that's where we go. St. Pete's really, really nice. It's gorgeous.
Nice. Very cool. So you've been presenting at other 1 million cups?
Yeah, we presented probably about maybe 5 or 6 of them already.
How are those?
Really well. You know, the whole virtual event and the whole pandemic situation, Zoom, of course. We've hadn't had the opportunity to do any physical locations, not even in Tampa or St. Pete or like the cities close to us.
Yeah.
But we got to stick to the virtuals. We're not too disappointed in it, but they've been going pretty well.
How were the interactions at those meetings? You get
really well.
Feedback, or were the attendance okay?
Yeah, really well. I think the lowest attendance we got was probably like 7 to 10 people.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Well, hopefully you get some new perspectives from this one. I'm not sure at some point when you do all these, you feel like they're just all the same, or you're getting the same feedback, you're not getting anything insightful.
Right, exactly.
Hopefully we can do that. Let me assume you've done this before, but I will make you a co-host if you want to try sharing your screen. So
yeah,
a fluid transition.
Sure.
Hello guys, how are you doing?
Doing great, Alejandro.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I can see your screen. Awesome.
Perfect. Can you see the slideshow?
Yes. And how do I pronounce the company name?
XIByte.
XIByte.
Yes.
Do you want to class with me?
Yes. Very great. Cool. I can see it. Where are you calling it from, Alejandro?
I am from Miami Beach, Florida.
So we have 2 people from Florida.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
As we're taking over.
Yeah.
In Colorado, we've been getting a lot of people from Florida, and I'm basing this off of my past 2 dates. They were both from Florida. So.
Wow. Yeah, looks like we're taking over.
Correlation and.
So Nick, I work off of my iPad. However, what I've experienced is that with the new iOS update, sometimes in my Zoom meeting, it might crash the presentation.
Sweet.
So I will have to redeploy if it does crash, just to let you know.
Okay, I'll come up with some jokes while we or something.
There you go.
How many times has it happened for you during a presentation?
So far, it's happened every single time, but I just did another iOS update this morning, so hopefully that kind of repairs some of the issues they've been having on the iPad.
All right. So now it's just the norm, so I'm glad you told me, but maybe today will be special and doesn't happen.
I believe we could only hope and pray.
There you go. Good morning, Gregarious.
Oh, man.
Doing great. Excited for Thanksgiving? Doing anything?
I'm going to Vail today for my anniversary, so.
Oh, congrats.
Congrats.
Yeah. Very cool. you going to? Well, they're not even open yet. So what are you guys gonna do in Vegas?
We're gonna ski in Keystone tomorrow, and then we're waiting to get on the wait list. We're waiting to buy tickets or reservations for Vail today. Like at 2, I think it opens.
And when is the mountain open?
It's the 20th, I think. I think Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we're lucky, we'll get to ski Friday, Saturday, even Sunday at Vail.
Yeah, I was talking to someone. They mentioned Keystone and limited to 600 tickets per day. Does that make sense?
It's all reservation right now, so that probably makes sense. But we were able to definitely get Thursday tickets. I had some friends went yesterday, and they said it was like springtime ski.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just curious how, before COVID, how many people get on a mountain per day on average? I just don't know how that 600 relates to actual numbers.
We're annoying.
Matt, I'm gonna mute you. You got really loud background sound. Okay. Cassidy, how we doing?
Good. How are you guys? Long time no see.
I know. Where you been? What have you been doing?
Prodigal child returns.
Been grinding. I got about 3 new contracts. So working with a couple other businesses on their social media, and then I'm putting together XIByte's list of weekend things to do. So it's been good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Eventbrite. So we use Eventbrite for my Toastmasters club, and they blocked our account, and they won't tell me why. Somehow we are breaking some type of terms and conditions, and they said we won't tell you why, but your account.
Have you reached out to Anna?
What's that?
Anna, sorry. Have you reached out to Anna? She's the editor. She's pretty good about getting back to people and stuff like that.
I ended up Eventbrite. They locked our account, and then they said to get support, you need to log in. So there's just a barrier there, and I ended up messaging them on Twitter, and we interacted on Twitter.
Oh, wait, XIByte or Eventbrite?
Oh, Eventbrite.
Okay.
Are we talking about something different?
I use Eventbrite to find events.
Oh, I thought you said Eventbrite. What were you using?
No, XIByte.
Oh, sounds very similar.
Yeah.
Anyway, if anybody uses Eventbrite, they do close your account for some reason. Even though my Toastmaster Club, the idea is we have events weekly, and we want to promote them. And I'm not sure what we did wrong.
Well, if you have weekend events, send them my way.
Very cool. It must be a little hard finding local events.
A little bit. A lot of places have still been doing like live music, like at restaurants, and you just have to reserve a table. But with the way COVID cases are going, we said this week we should focus on virtual events.
Yeah,
And that's
that game's over come Friday, 10% levels.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's been hard to find because most places are like, oh, well, we can still do our live music at 10% and just make people have reservations. We're not going to switch to online. So I don't know.
There won't be any indoor dining anymore also, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I saw the new scale that Colorado came out with. Have you guys seen it? Now we have purple.
Everyone was joking. They're like, we're getting close to Roy G. Biv.
That's awesome.
How's everyone else this morning?
Let's see who we have here. Hey, Paul. I haven't seen you in a while.
No, I had to. We went to Timberline Lodge for our anniversary, so that's why I was gone.
No worries. I see you have a bear canister in the background.
Yep, that's our Snicker. We did a blog post on how many Snickers you can fit in a bear canister. So, do you want to guess?
Yeah. Let's see.
I should have a guess.
Quick math. So it looks like there's I have a guess. I don't want to anchor anybody, so if everybody wants to think about your guess, and then
Yeah, you know, in theory, if everybody give an estimate of how many, and then we make the average, we may get closer.
Yeah.
all right. I'm gonna send my guess in the Zoom chat right now.
Okay.
105.
105.
Any other guesses before Paul tells us the
You're talking
answer?
full size Snickers bars or?
Full size, 1.85 ounce, I think. The full size. 250 calories.
What are we fitting it in?
Into a bear canister, a BV 500.
Oh, it's like 6.
Yeah, like that. Huh. I don't know.
All right. What's the answer, Paul?
What's the answer?
Yeah.
It's 143.
Yes. I was closest.
143?
Yeah.
What?
No.
Are these the little Halloween sized ones? You sure? Oh my God. That's way bigger than it looked from over here. There's 143 Snickers bars in there?
1.86 ounces.
Wow. How many have you eaten?
143, and then he filled it back up.
We gave away Snicker bars here at Enterprise, so that's why it's not full.
To be fair, I have that bear canister, so I can relate to its size and then do the math.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, from far away it looks really small as well.
I went with each layer had about 40 Snicker
And
bars.
here's the smaller one. So here's test number 2. How many Snicker bars could fit in here? There's obviously mountain houses in there, but we also put Snicker bars in here. So this is the smaller BB 450.
Oh, wow. And the other size is 550? What's the other?
500. The BB 500, yeah.
Oh, man, that looks like...
Let's do how many Snicker bars can fit in your mouth?
I think it's supposed to be eggs, right? How many eggs can you eat?
Or grapes or marshmallows as well. Okay. Well, it's 9 o'clock. We're going to get going here. Let me share some links with you guys. Link overload. Share screen. Some housekeeping real quick. Please mute yourself when you're not speaking. During the Q&A, please use the raise hand button to ask a question. You're welcome to use the chat feature in Zoom to share links with other guests or just interact as well. And if you can, please rename yourself in Zoom. You can hit your square in the right corner. You go to rename. You do first name, job title, or first name company, just so we get to know each other a little bit better. And let's get started.
1 Million Cups is a weekly educational program developed by the Kaufman Foundation. Over the years, we've added more cities. Creates a great energy here to see what's happening across the country.
What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very, very valuable. Sitting in a room with other people that have ideas too, it helps people to leave thinking, you know what? My idea is worth something. It's worth pursuing. It's worth going after it. Even if it looks like a challenge, I should still go out and try to do it.
Well, welcome everybody. Good morning. My name is Nick Campion. I'll be your MC for today. 1 Million Cups Denver, we meet every Wednesday at 9 a.m. via Zoom until further notice. We do virtual coffee or tea at every meeting. If you have a coffee mug you want to show off, this will be a great opportunity to do that. We do 6-minute presentations, not pitches. We're here to connect, not network. After the presentations, we do 15 to 20 minutes of audience feedback and questions. It's a great place for entrepreneurs to be vulnerable, open and transparent, and we are here to discuss ideas and not people. I need to get my screen. By show of hands, who is new to 1 Million Cups Denver? Any newbies today? Jess is new. Awesome.
Yes, I knew. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Jess, real quick, since I got you live here, could you introduce yourself real quick? Where you from? How you heard about us? What you do?
So I'm the new co-working manager at the Office Depot in Westminster. So David Nevin was the guy that was here before me. I used to work for GameWorks Denver, and then COVID hit, and so I was their event planner, and then everything blew up. So I just started this job after 8 months of searching, like 3 weeks ago. So I'm in charge of like selling office space and hot desks and dedicated desks and getting people in the door and getting memberships.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jess, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, we'll come back to this. Awesome. Well, if you guys don't know, 1 Million Cups Denver has a website. It's 1millioncups.com/Denver. It's a great place to see who's presenting each week and also receive our weekly email. Quick shout out to our sponsors. We have Enterprise, Founders Craft, Good Elephant, Mill State Coffee, Point of Media, Tyrone Lending Source, Rocky Mountain Photography, the Commons on Champa, and WeWorks Labs. Let's give our sponsors a big round of applause. Awesome. We already had one volunteer, so I'm looking for 2 more volunteers that would love to introduce themselves. Just briefly, name, what you do, where you're from, any other fun thing you want to share with the crowd. If not, I'm going to pick on people. So any volunteers before I pick on anybody? All right. So let's go with Isaac.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Isaac Greenlee, and I am with Nelnet. We're a student loan servicer, one of the biggest. There's a handful of us in the industry that service loans for the federal government, and we are based in Lincoln, Nebraska, but have a big IT presence here in the Denver area. We're in the process of opening up a new location in Centennial. So once COVID clears enough, we'll be moving in.
Awesome. And how'd you hear about 1 Million Cups?
I think it was through maybe Denver Startup Week, or I always just try and keep a pulse. I'm always really interested in kind of some of the new stuff coming on, and it's really exciting for me to try and stay plugged into the entrepreneur community, and so. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. I have another volunteer. Let's go with is it Gretel?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gretel Stingley. This is actually my second time here, so I'm kind of a newbie, and just love to. I'm a lifelong learner and love to see what's new and out there, and keep basically same thing. Keep on the what's going on in the entrepreneurial market in Denver. My name again is Gretel. I work for a company called MyTech Partners. We are IT service providers for small and medium-sized businesses. We're also a consulting firm as well. So we really work with smaller businesses to help them grow and manage their IT services in line with what their growth strategy is.
Awesome. Thank you, Gretel. I'm launching a quick poll. If you guys can complete it, it's just asking if you're new to 1 Million Cups, if you consider yourself an entrepreneur, and a Thanksgiving Day question that I'll reveal at the end. Now we're gonna keep on moving. Later today, we're gonna do community announcements. So if you have anything you wanna share with everybody, start thinking about maybe what you wanna say. Here at 1 Million Cups Denver, we are open to a variety of presentation types. If you have an idea that you just thought of and need some feedback on, it's a great place to present your idea. If you have a product or established your market, you have customers, you want to get some feedback on your product, please apply and we can give you some feedback. If you are already up to an investor stage where you're trying to raise money and have an investor presentation, you can do that type of presentation here as well. And we're also looking for business experts. So if you're an expert in finance, marketing, anything related to a business and we do a presentation on, we'd love to hear that as well. looking for organizations related to startups and also past presenters as well. And now we're going to move to our first presenter. XIByte is a AI technology. Maya is a AI business bot that builds businesses with entrepreneurs. Her voice enables intelligence, analyzes, predicts, deploys, and grows company operations. Let's give a big round of applause to Sat and XIByte.
Thank you, everyone. It's great to be here. Just going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Sat. I'm calling from Tampa, Florida, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of XIByte, an artificial intelligence company. And what we're doing is we're creating innovation freedom for entrepreneurs by automating startup operations using conversational AI. And what we've identified, I myself am a 3-time founder, and what we have identified from even our past startups and new startups that we've been able to talk to and discuss with is that founders hate doing administrative work, and they spend a ton of time doing the R&D to try to deploy and set up these tedious tasks of the administrative work. And then they use multiple tools to manage and actually do administrative work and manage company operations. So our solution is really simple. We came up with an AI bot, and her name is Maya. She's an on-demand smart bot that helps navigate company operations and facilitates almost all administrative work through a connected partner network that we have. Voice commands are used to talk to Maya, and she talks to you. She'll go ahead and get administrative tasks deployed, and then she'll relate it back to you as things are completed and let you know on company health what's going on. Predictive analysis lets users know what to do next in their company operation and why. And then finally, we have a marketplace of high-level partners that is treated as a command center for company operations inside of the actual app. A little bit about our business model. A study done by the actual Kauffman Foundation states that annual startups spend about $22,000 a year on administrative tasks and operations. And our platform takes 5% transaction fee for each administrative task or operation that's deployed. And a little bit about Maya's intelligence. She's a conversational AI, and we use a 6-elemental formula to be able to kind of create her intelligence and her suggestions. That's broken down into industry, location, size, stage, budget, and trends. And some of the technology that we use is Alexa's voice engine as her voice engine, gamification so that companies can look at their company progress and their milestones, and then the API network of integrated partners. We currently use unsupervised learning as our AI. It's a little bit technical there, which is like A to B mapping type of thing. That's the simplest way I can kind of explain it. And what we want to get to is reinforcement learning, where companies can set their goals and the AI would actually kind of give results and suggestions on her own. That's a little bit about our team. I myself am the CEO, 3 times co-founder. My co-founder is the Chief Science Officer, former Marketing Director at Dell and IT Director at Dell. And then Shivam, who is in charge of our customer fulfillment and customer experience. A little competitive analysis about us. We are pretty niche in the space. We have identified some competitors, but they seem to be far from us in reference to how they're operating. And the closest ones that we found is Epic AI and Wing AI, as they're using the AI with actually an actual human on the back end to do these administrative tasks. And then finally, what can Denver do for XIByte? We asked the great city of Denver here to kind of try Maya. We are a startup. We deployed in December. So we are still figuring things out. We have traction. We have users across the world. But as we go around with 1 million cups and getting users from the actual local communities, it's always great. And then, the second thing that Denver could do for XIByte is give us introductions to local accelerators and incubators and universities that have entrepreneurship programs for young millennials and students. That way, they can have the opportunity to also try Maya and have Maya be part of their network. And then finally, if we could have the local community share our mission and share Maya to their network and their small business and entrepreneurs that want to kind of get things going as well. Thank you all for listening to my presentation.
Oh, Nick, I think you're on mute.
Oh, you guys didn't hear the round of applause there. Let's do it again because it's so much fun. All right, great job. That mute button is so evil. Well, before we hop into questions, if you do have a question, please use the raise hand button. Limit to 1 to 2 questions per turn. If you have a laundry list of questions, I'll come back to you after we get some new people. So if you have a question, please use that raise hand button. If you don't see it, if you go to, it's under participants, and then if you click on, it should be a raise hand button. If you can't figure it out, just send me a message and I'll call on you as well. So let's start off with, I saw Gio, the first one. So go ahead, Gio.
Hey, good morning, Satyam. So I've got a couple of questions for you. Actually got many of them, but I'm going to keep it to just 2. So give us a little bit of a background to this kind of technology that's kind of arising now, because it seems like kind of in one of the diagrams that you showed that there's maybe a few different places where you could have emerged with your kind of technology tool. Can you tell us a little bit about the universe that you're operating in and maybe some other like possibilities you might have thought about in terms of how to come into the market with your technology?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for that. So, when we first started off, we built Maya to be this sort of AI advisor or AI consultant for small business and startups. So we had a lot of education built into the platform, a lot of entrepreneurship education.
Okay.
And as we noticed and grew, we really couldn't monetize that because so much entrepreneurship education is out there and it's free. So what we decided to do is take that education and kind of the operations and kind of merge the two. So what Maya does is she runs the tasks, but she tells you why it's needed to be done.
Okay.
So that way you're at least educated on why it's being done. And then she's going to let you know what to do next. So for example, let's just say you come in and you're a brand new organization, all you have is idea. Well, she's going to tell you the first thing to do is incorporate your company. And this is why. And then she's going to go ahead and do it and bring the incorporation or the articles of incorporation back to you in the platform.
Wow, it's a big idea. So at its core, it really is an educational tool. Is that basically correct in many ways?
Yes.
But you decided not to go that avenue.
Yeah. At its core, it is an educational tool, and that's always evolving. With our own experience, as we have over 25 years startup experience on our team, as well as the mentorship network that we have across the world. We're part of the AI Ventures program, accelerator program in Australia. So that's helped us evolution the platform a little bit more. It's really, it's a really kind of crazy to think about sometimes. We get caught up in our own head how much the AI technology can do. So we have to always kind of bring the focus back into what we really want the focus could be, because the technology can in reality be used in any application, in any environment. The technology can be used. It's just in what environment.
Where does your primary knowledge base kind of draw from? Is it content that you create in your own team, or does it open source, or how does that work?
So when we first started, it was just on our own team. And then as we grew with mentors and some of the incubators and accelerators, meeting some of the mentors, that also included some of their own insight to make Maya a little bit more intelligent and dynamic. And then we started getting data sets from our partners. So some of our partners are really large partners, Amex, Bank of America, QuickBooks. So we got data sets from them to now embed it into Maya. And then finally, we're using R&D companies such as Kauffman Foundation and Nielsen Foundation to be able to also incorporate more entrepreneurship education that's more relevant. And last but not least, trends. We're getting trends from all over the place, social media, and kind of what's happening in the world of virtual environment to make that intelligence a lot more accurate.
Interesting.
And relatable.
Well, my feedback with you, I don't want to hog the space because I'm sure a lot of other people have questions, but my feedback would be this, is that the education component and the value of that education for a business, to me, is a lot more compelling. Like, my mind understands that, honestly, for me, a lot better. I may be a little biased because I'm in the online course development space and I'm a lifelong learner and learning is interesting to me, but I've also been an entrepreneur, and I realized, particularly as a small owner, the value of all the knowledge. And that's essentially what AI is. It's basically just collected knowledge.
Correct.
So
we're just taking that knowledge and just kind of, kind of putting that into action. Sometimes, they refer to Maya as like a virtual co-founder as well, or a virtual business partner, not just like some sort of virtual assistant or administrative assistant. Because she does much more than that. She kind of helps navigates the whole company operation. And the attractiveness, it has not been attracted to the older generation because by stats, they're much more experienced. They have the wisdom, they have the knowledge on how to run a business. So we've been targeting the younger generations, the students, the college students, and the younger crowds, more like 16 to 28.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yeah, so that'd be my feedback piece. And the other thing too is about like I love her name. I mean, Maya, so that's cool. I love the name. But also it's a kind of a marketing kind of perception thing, but kind of orienting her around an administrative assistant kind of lessens her value, I think. Like
correct.
calling her, a CEO, brain or something like that. It seems like it brings it more on level with what the value probably would really
correct. That's why we never call her an assistant or a virtual assistant. Her features are of that. We kind of refer to her as, we just refer to her as a smart bot for company operations.
Yeah. So it takes a little bit to get my mind around it. You know what I mean? Like, just listening to the presentation, but because I'm in a kind of a related space of education, and it's an exploding value space because knowledge is so valuable.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Gio. Appreciate the feedback. Dave.
Hey, Seth, intriguing presentation. Love AI and machine learning, and I think you might be onto something. As a founder, one of the things that not so much a crazy maker, just an annoyance, is accounting. And I'm just wondering, any types of maybe one or two functions that you found, and maybe some of your test companies that have used Maya of oh wow, people really like that it does, one talked about incorporation, but maybe a little bit further down the road, other types of business functions. And Maya kind of strikes me as a CIO or a CFO.
Yeah, so in the financial realm of things, because she does operations and tasks in finance, marketing, legal, sales. So in the financial world of things, like what she'll do is, she'll help you with our partner network. Everything is based on our partner network as well. Huge marketplace of that. She'll let you know when our tax is supposed to be done based on where you're located, and she'll help you get an actual tax expert to run your taxes just on that thing. Accounting, she'll help you get an accounting and a bookkeeper with our partner bench, so virtual accounting. And what we're doing is we're looking for the solution at the best price based on their formula, budget, size, stage, industry, those sort of things. So like a partner network, like Amex, we also help customers with capital raise and getting business loans and bank loans and credit cards, all dependent on what they're using it for and why they need it. So we won't just spill it out there as some sort of referral. Or you started a business just to go and grab capital. There needs to be reasons why behind it. And so that way, when she's going to create an application and send it off. This is what we're going to use the funds for, and then she's going to send it off to the approval via the API network.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dave. Alejandro, you had a question or feedback.
Yeah, I cannot raise my hand. I think because I'm also co-host 2%. So my first feedback is about the problem slide. I think when you show that slide, what came to my mind, at least when I saw your product, and I think you didn't mention it, is that the founder has to wear many hats. And having this AI assistant can help you keeping track or your progress as a company. So I think that is something you could add there. My second question is, you mentioned entrepreneurs from universities. So what is the niche? Is this working better for certain kind of startups? Is this more likely going to work for fintech, for edtech? So it's because entrepreneurship it can be many industries. So I am wondering which industry it will serve better in that sense. And my last feedback is, I saw in another slide, you put your company in the middle between education and management. So I wonder if you are undecided, you are not sure if this will work better for education or management, or what are the capabilities there. But I think as a management point of view, at least from my own experience, it can be great because someone that will look for this kind of tool more likely are already trying to get into business. So the management side and the education cycle can help, but mostly the manager side, because when you are a small company, you need a lot of help. Is you have to do many things at once. So yeah, that's my feedback for you.
Yeah, thank you, Alejandro. That's good. I like that. Founders have to wear lots of hats. I've never really thought about it like that, but you're absolutely right, and it's good perspective and a little amount of words to kind of put it in. As far as like the industry goes, we don't have an industry that we focus on, because what we focus on is kind of the broad operations, main things to get a startup in deployment in operations. So typically, there's so many similarities and commonalities in deploying a startup. Getting the financial, marketing, sales things, legal things kind of deployed and running. So that's why we don't have like a specific direction or detailed in an industry, because we don't want to get too detailed in an industry, or we haven't had that much data to be able to identify, well, this industry of users is actually using the platform the most. That way we can kind of hone in on that industry. But for the most part, it's very open-ended, because to kind of build a startup or kind of start a business, it's pretty kind of like the same amount of things that every startup has to go through. Some of the functions and tedious tasks.
Okay, got it.
All right, thank you, Alejandro. Gregarious. Feedback, questions?
Yeah, I guess feedback, I guess the cynic in me wants to call bullshit on this, right? Because I love what you're describing. It's just hard to imagine it working, right? Like realistically for like folks at scale, right? Like I think all of us here who have a company would be like, I'd love to talk to someone and have it just tell me the answers to like all the questions I have, but like the data sets aren't usually out there to actually describe how to solve most problems, because most problems are highly contextual, right? Like, so it sounds like what you've described is really good, like, and it should just be more prescriptive, like to the education side. Like, if you're going to start a company, you need to do this. If your company is like one of these 100 types, you need to do these next 10 things. Oh, and if you're subtype on that, do these next 100 things. And I think that that's, by the way, a great thing to do, right? What I feel like a harder thing is like a startup's going to struggle with like, how should I price my product, right? Like, and I don't know how like an AI is going to actually answer that question, right? So I guess like the thing my caution is being careful about the promise, right? Because I think the promise is almost too good to be true. I wish it was true, by the way, right? Like, I don't doubt your ability to potentially get to some more refined things, but I do know for you to work effectively in like an ML like space, you need a lot of data. And so the better the data does get around an area, the better answers you can give faster, right? So it may serve you to find places that exhaust data well, right? Like to be able to like help them answer questions, right? Like, so if you were to connect to Shopify and then provide a conversational UI around like, so which product should I feature on the homepage? Like that's a great place to be, because you have exhausted data. You can look at data sets like in aggregate, but like the harder thing of like, what should my pricing strategy be? Like, very simple design patterns sort of built into that. And then you kind of have to experiment, right? And so
yes, we actually don't go that detailed. Sorry, but we actually don't go that detailed to try to like figure out what their price models to be, because we know we're not that advanced yet.
No, I hear you. But the way like some of these umbrella sounds, it feels like I might try to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I do think you should double click on the expertise you're gaining in how to start a company on the right foundation. I think that's really wonderful, right?
Yes.
And parsing through all the data about the best practices like is super, super useful, especially in the earliest stages.
Yes.
And then I would look at some other ends where you might be able to like leverage existing data sets as a way to get to more conversational ways to actually engage with the founder.
Right.
Like it could be accounting, right? Like, so if you connect my Xero or QuickBooks account and you can help me interrogate that thing without having to like know how to read it, great. That's a win, right?
Yeah.
If you can look at my Shopify data and let me know how to read it, that's a win. If you can look at my Google Analytics data and help me know how to read it, that's a win. But I think you do have to get to more specific use cases as opposed to like being a mass brain for all of these things.
Correct.
But I love it.
You're absolutely right.
I wish you all the success in the world because it's very needed in the world. And I know for a fact people do want like someone to talk to for these things.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And, you brought up some wonderful points there, Greg. I appreciate that. We do have a long way to go to get that data, and we're still kind of sourcing and looking to which would be the best partners to get that data. Because we have over 100 platform partners, and we get data from them. But you're right. They're only relevant to that situation and that user at a time. We need to have a lot more usage to get the machine learning to kind of identify that after a good period of time. So we definitely have some small plans and goals and guidelines to get us there. But it's the point of getting us there and having that usage and having people use it and get us there for that. But yeah.
Awesome feedback, Gregarious. Allie, looks like you have a hand in your corner.
Hi. So I'm probably in your target market. I'm a younger founder, never done this before. And so 2 questions. Can I be a beta tester? Or how does that work? And then the other would be like, I've recently discovered at one of our places where we starting to meet is they do a really cool productive cycles meetup where we go on Zoom and we work together. And I've discovered, the power of simple experiments and that way of working. So I'm wondering if you've considered maybe a more like, not necessarily helping them with those specific questions, but helping them have a framework. Because I know I've been learning about, like the lean stack and the blue ocean and all of these different kinds of things. But if I had somewhere where I could track the experiments that I mean, they all have their own kind of janky, software for tracking experiments and things, but that might give it, and then you could collect data on the experiments that people are running and start to understand.
Right. So I guess yes to being a user, that would be very great and lovely. What kind of next as far as like tracking? The only thing that we have right now in regards to tracking is like the project management type of ability and tool between Maya and the user, which in a sense is tracking and data collection. However, it's not directed just yet. So we haven't been able to direct that to any sort of industry or any specific type of user because we just haven't gotten to that point yet. But with usage, we definitely will be able to justify that. We just need to validate which of those avenues would be the most powerful for us to put our direction to. But you still can track your projects and your tasks and all the other things.
And so how is it different than like Asana or Monday or those other platforms for that then?
Asana is actually our integration.
Okay. So it is just Asana?
So it's not just Asana. Asana is like the lab, the kind of the undercracks of it, and then we kind of help function and customize it a little bit further on top of it, and remove some of the components from Asana because we just don't need all of the components that they offer, and also they're missing some components, so we help customize that a little bit further.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Awesome, great feedback, Allie.
Thank you, everyone.
The last question. I know you mentioned this in your slides. Do you want to take one point and answer this question with what as a community can we do for you?
I would love to have, everyone try it out, use it, give me feedback as much as you can. I would highly appreciate it. It helps us give us more direction in our company, as well as, we like to pilot with some of the local university and colleges with the students. That has produced us a lot of validation and usage. We would love if anybody had any sort of introduction they can make for us.
Okay, awesome. Let's give Sat another round of applause.
Thank you, everyone.
And now we're going to move on to our second presenter. Everest Master develops new online learning experiences for higher education students. Our platform addresses the problems that online students have with current systems. We create avatars, classrooms, and campuses to bring universities together. Let's give another big round of applause to Alejandro and Everest Master.
Hi guys, how are you doing? Good morning. Yes, I'm going to present Everest Master. Let me see if you can see my screen. Give me some confirmation. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
All right.
Everybody can, okay, I have so many screens.
So I start, since this is 1 million cups, I start with what the community can do for Everest Master. And let me tell you, our goal is to have 10,000 users by the end of 2021. You can help us with introductions or host events as well in our platform. So what is Everest Master? In Everest Master, we develop engaging virtual experiences. And why are we doing this? So basically everything started when I was studying online using a learning management system, Canvas, all the story. But the issue is that I didn't have the opportunity to connect with any classmates or to meet my professors. There was a lack of social interaction in the whole experience. And I think it shouldn't be that way when it comes to online education. In second place, there is a lack of academic environment that you don't feel part of a place where you are encouraged to study. So the following solution came to my mind: developing a massive virtual world where everyone can learn, meet, and belong to a community. This can be achieved with avatars, events, and also a classroom for education. So this is a point where we have to put an emphasis in our multiple use cases. Initially, we created Everest Master for higher education, but after speaking with many professors, institutions, and course designers, we realized that the selling cycle is going to be really slow, and the company is not going to be profitable if we wait that long to get business from higher education institutions. So we have decided to use our platform for the other use cases, in particular for online events, where you can do networking, trade shows, you can have presentations, commercial spaces, and for entertainment. When it comes to market validation, we have looked at a couple of companies that are similar. One is ScienceSpace that has 1,500 wiki users, and Virbela that have 2,000 unique users. This company has grown a lot during this year, in particular due to COVID. And some of the clients are Department of Defense, Pearson, Stanford University, Berkeley, etc. When it comes to the market size, I would like to point the size of the market for virtual events. It is worth at this moment $78 billion, and it's going to grow a lot in 10 years. It's going to be a huge market. And when it comes to virtual education, it is worth $59 billion. Everest Master, by positioning inside the market and acquiring around 1% of the available market, can be valued in $1 billion due to the growth of both industries. This is a company demo. This is a demo of our platform that really explains what we do. We are currently pre-revenue. We have developed this MVP, and we have some events coming soon as well. Okay, so as you will see in this video, you can walk around the environment. This is, for example, for networking. You can use this table to meet people. This bubble control the noise and keep the conversation more private. You can use it for expos, for trade shows, by customizing these booths with any image you have. You can sit here and talk with someone in private as well. And it's a social experience where you can present in a stage, or you can share your screen, you can share your webcam as well, and speak through your microphone with everybody. So we want to bring people closer and create a sense of community inside this platform. When it comes to our business model, we think of it as venue development. We are going to develop a venue for you starting at 1,500 for 100 to even 20,000 users. We also provide what we call interior design. We're going to design this environment for you based on your specifications. And you can use this environment for virtual events, as we have been discussing, for a price starting at 3,500 for up to 500 users or even 20,000. When it comes to our marketing strategy, what we want to do is to host these virtual events as a way to promote our services. Through partnerships, we can access to these companies that through, so the partnership may be vendors of this company that already need the kind of services, and that can work as an introduction for us. And in third place, direct and digital marketing to build strong relationships with our customers. When it comes to our competition, Everest Master is a company best positioned for success in the area of virtual events and also virtual education as well. Why? Because we are oriented and specialized on the events, or we provide high engagement. Our competitors have a different business model where they work on business offices or they provide education solution, but the engagement is really low. What is our competitive advantage? We're going to be the first company to go to market that provides a virtual world created specifically for education at these virtual events. It's easy to use, user-driven, optimized for communication, and the experiences are engaging. It's a world of endless possibilities of what can be done in Everest Master. This is our team. We are 5. I represent myself, Alejandro Jimenez. I also have co-founded a company back in 2017. It was for digital marketing. So I have 6 years experience as a web developer. And I created that company called Oyo Webs with Nachira Cuba, who happens to be my wife and the COO of Everest Master. We have Racion, our technical manager, Shi Metadi, our Unity developer, and Goran, our 3D artist. How can you help Everest Master? Again, we want to grow, and a way to measure growth inside our platform is the amount of users that have registered. So if you can make introduction for us to businesses that host events or any different use case, or you would like to host an event yourself inside our platform, we are going to welcome you. We are providing free, you can use the space for free for small events. So you can contact us and we can help you with that as well. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. And while I answer your feedback, I would like also to give you a tour in the meantime inside the platform to explain things better.
All right, well, before we get into Q&A, let's give Alejandro a, wait for it, it's gonna have a round of applause. If you have feedback or a question, please use the raise hand button. I will call on you. And looks like Gregarious is going to be the first one. Go for
it. This looks really cool, Andrea. I was curious, so maybe I missed it. Do you require hardware to like interact in the space, or can you do it all like in a browser or something?
Yeah, so our platform is a downloadable program. You download the program in your computer, either Mac or Windows, and that's it. You don't require VR headsets or anything like that. You don't require high graphics. You don't require high-speed internet, nothing of that, at least not at this point. But in the future, we want to integrate more technology into it.
Great. And these environments that you make, though, they have to be, that's sort of more of a ad hoc, like a custom build thing, or is it like Sims? So like someone says, I'm going to design my conference space, and they just drop down a bunch of like things.
No, yeah, we have to develop that ourselves with the client. So it's not like you can come here and duplicate the booths on your own. You have to go through us first.
Is that going to be possible, or is that just a temporary limitation, or?
Well, I don't see it as a limitation. I don't see it neither impossible. We can create that functionality because our platform have been created with a game engine. So it's like the video game application for different use. So if at some point duplicating, and let's say you are the administrator, you're the event organizer, you want to organize this stuff to your taste, right? So we can give you the tools just to duplicate the booths, put the pictures wherever you want, and you can rearrange the room at your preference. So that is something completely possible. We just don't have it at this point because we didn't have the necessity to do it.
That makes sense. Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Gregarious. Allie, feedback question?
Hi, yeah. Do you have just like a short answer for like how is this different from all the other 5 bajillion platforms that are coming out for virtual events?
Yes, when it comes to virtual events, we are different because we are using cutting-edge technology, and we are able to integrate easily others applications inside our platform. You can actually go through the browser, use any app from the internet. You can have, when it comes to communication as well, for example, a different from Zoom is that we have proximity. So you can only speak with a person that is next to you, like the avatar next to you. That way the conversation is more personal, it's not too broad. But at the same time, let's say you are here sitting, and you will be listening to the presentation, because that would be like for everybody. But you can speak with whoever is next to you without interrupting the speaker, all that kind of stuff. And then technology integration is really important part of this, because in first place we are going to something that nobody has is the factor of massive virtual world. So in our competitors, if we look close to them, they provide you like this private space. This private space, everything's private. So I don't know why it should be that way. I think everything should be interconnected, so we can build communities, we can build connections. So if you have this company here, or you have, let's say, Harvard University, or you have Washington University, students in our platform can come from campus to campus and visit each other, meet each other. So it brings that sense of togetherness and community to all the experience. Yeah, that wasn't short, sorry.
yeah, maybe that's one piece of feedback, to see if you can get it down to like one sentence of like, here's what makes us different, which I know it's so hard to like cut stuff out because it's all very important in your head, but yeah. And my other question would be, so is there a way to know some more information about the person you're walking up to? Because it seems like some of the, like, this is very replicating real life. And one of the limitations of real life is that you don't know who it is you're walking up to, which could kind of augment the experience if you have that information here. So just wondering how that would work.
So there are a couple of ways to do that. We're working so everybody can share a profile picture. So if you put your mouse over the avatar, of course, this is my own avatar, don't see that, but we are working so you can see the name of the person, you can also see a profile picture. And if I turn off my video here, you can also see my webcam inside the platform, as you can see in the corner. So let's say we changed the webcam and we put it in front of your face or above your head, like a bubble. So there are different possibilities of what can be done there to make it more personal. Like, it's just not the avatar, is you. And that is something that we really want to do here, is to connect people, not just the game or the scenario.
Yeah, that was my other question, was, are you talking to their avatar or are you talking to their actual face in the video? Which I think I'd rather talk to their real face, because I'm not a big video game person.
Yeah. We want to make everything very flexible. So every user should be able in the future to customize this iframe to their preference. So you prefer more video, you don't prefer to see avatar, you prefer to see, I don't know, rabbits or anything else, whatever. We want to make it more friendly and flexible for the user to customize it.
Mm-hmm. And is it encouraging additional like relationships offline, like I just attended a conference last weekend that was on a platform called Brella, and it was like by no means like this with the virtual reality, but it was very instrumental in creating personal connections that happened offline. And it was very simple in that way. Like you could filter the people who were there by what they're interested or what they want to network about, and then you could suggest a meeting that would happen on the platform, but it could happen days later or stuff like that. So does it encourage that, or is it all kind of within this world?
Well, we haven't reached that level
Okay.
of development, to be honest. So far, we have developed this MVP, but there is a lot of things that can be done, of course.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Ali. I have a question for you. In turn, you mentioned the number of users, and my question relates to scaling. Have you tested how many users you can handle, or how is your infrastructure built to scale if you want to have 10,000 or 100,000 users on your platform?
Okay, yeah, so the answer to that is, technically speaking, we are able to have 20,000 users connected at the same time. That is just technically speaking per se. We haven't had the opportunity to test it with that many users or even with that 1,100 because we are new, we are pre-revenue, and we are looking for business opportunities to start growing. I think the same clients help us shape the platform and test it as well. So there is not much limitation. That doesn't worry us at all when it comes to many thousands of users or hundreds of users. What is a limitation in certain way, and it happens because technology is at this level so far, is the webcam. Not everybody can have a webcam if we have a 100-person meeting. That's for companies like Zoom or Facebook. They can invest heavily on that, but still their limitation is 150. It's not that much. It's not like they can have 1,000 webcams at the same time. But we may be able to come up with a solution for that in the future.
Cool. Awesome. Looks like we got time for one more, and Gio, you're gonna take the last question feedback.
Hey, awesome. So yeah, I've been kind of watching the development of these. Kind of like Ali was saying too. It's like I've seen many different ones. I'm impressed with the pretty impressed with the visual graphics and everything. Can you tell me a little bit or share with us a little bit what's the cutting edge now of like virtual reality graphics making? I noticed it seemed in your team you only have one person doing that work, which seems like it says that it must be a lot easier to do that nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, there is not much I can say about that because I am not an expert in VR or design. I know like we use game engines for this that is really helpful. There are a lot of good game engines for that. For example, we are using Unity. You can use Unreal, but those are the game engines that video game producers use to create video games. So those are the top technologies I am aware of to creating video games. And now when it comes to the visuals, there are many softwares where you can create, like for example, this avatar with shapes, with mesh. So the everything is there when it comes to creating this environment. And it's not difficult. What is difficult is actually when you want to work on the networking part, like connecting different clouds, connecting different environments, connecting like that's server side, at least for us, is more challenging than the visual side.
Yeah, that was going to be my next kind of related question in terms of the technology. Is it difficult for you right now with your product to make this work on, there's all these different computer types, or is that not so much an issue?
Well, since we are working with Unity allows you to have a program that works for Windows, work for Mac, and work for Linux, I guess. So those are our limitations. We are limited actually by the game engine, but the game engine at the same time is very flexible and can connect to many devices. And you can also build for mobile, but we are not working with mobile.
Okay. Yeah, it's impressive. I like the area that you're working in.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Gio. Final question for you, Alejandro, is what as a community can we do for you?
Yeah, so basically, that is, I have more or less the answer to that question. Let me, yeah, one second. So what I have done here, as you can see my screen, I have built a mini room for 1 million cups. So something that also the community can do for us is introduce us to events. We are actually trying to use to promote Everest Master, to use it in 1 million cups, maybe some upcoming presentations, try it on. I mean, try it, give it a try to see how it goes. So yes, we want to host events. So if you want to host an event, or you know someone that would like to host an event, or if you have a different idea, let's say you want to build a video game arena in our platform, we can do that for you. No problem. We just reach us and we will work on that solution.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely thought about 1 million cups on your platform, and we should talk to headquarters about that. All right, round of applause. Great job. Very cool stuff. Now we're going to move on to community announcements. Does everybody have something you'd like to share, an event that's going on, or something great that's happening in your life? Ali, go ahead.
Hi guys, my company Good Elephant is starting a few new virtual meetup groups that are a little more focused on topics that we're interested in. So one of them is about climate change. It's called the Good Earth Assembly, and we meet every Tuesday night. Last night we watched this really cool webinar about a documentary called the Kiss the Ground, which is all about how soil policy and all kinds of cool stuff. And then we also have one called the Social Good Assembly, which is all about making change in our communities around social issues. That one is actually tonight at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. And I'll post our link on the chat. And then we do also have one that's bi-weekly, that's called the Elephant Collective, where it's just a group of teachers, leaders, and healers who meet and network and collaborate and get to know each other. A lot of our Good Elephant teachers are on there, and then we welcome anyone from the outside too. So that's on Saturday afternoons. So hope to see you guys there. I'll post the link in the chat.
Cool. So those are some great events, Ali. I wish I came to the one yesterday. Didn't know about it.
Nick, I've got one. I dropped into the chat window, but I'll just give some voice to it. Gio here. So I'm offering a webinar tomorrow at noontime on how to master enrollment for online training courses. And this is the third in a 3-part series. So some of you may know that's what I specialize in, helping people to turn their knowledge into a source of revenue through online training and coaching and consulting. So this one tomorrow is primarily on how to get people to enroll in your courses online.
Cool. Thank you, Gio. Any other announcements?
Actually, I'd love to make it because it kind of builds on Gio's too. And actually, I might attend that. That sounds very interesting. Thank you for sharing. I wanted to share my organization offers a lot of complimentary resources as you're a new growing business. I know a lot of businesses decide if they're going to use Office 365 as a platform to conduct their business as they mature past Google and some other of the free platforms, but it is a cost, and it also is a very complex application. Every other Tuesday, my organization offers free classes and basically half-hour sessions of best practices of all the different functionalities of Office 365, and if this should be a decision your business decides to make. So I can post that, and if anyone wants to just pop in, they're more than welcome to.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got an announcement too. I'm working on a new business venture with a co-founder. We're working on some early validation. We put together a video survey we would like people to take. We're trying to understand consumer behavior and habits around people that go to coffee shops. So if you ever go to a coffee shop, we could use information from you. That would be great, and help us validate some things around building our business.
And I feel like
nobody here has ever been to a coffee shop.
Yeah, I'm sure none of you ever go to coffee shops.
Yeah, I think there's one called Starbucks that you'll go to. So
yeah,
you've been to that place, you are a customer. Cool. Yeah. Share that in the chat.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, we're running out of time.
Oh, the only one I have is if anyone wants to present at Founders Live, I may do an event December, like the first Wednesday. So if you haven't presented and you're in the Denver area, let me know. I'm happy to have you.
Cool. Thank you, Gregarious. Is that going to be the first week in December or second?
I think the 9th actually. So yeah, maybe the second, the first Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Quick announcement, no green spaces until further notice. If you're interested in presenting, go to our website, 1millioncups.com/Denver. It's where you can present and also see who has presented in the past or is going to be presenting this week. These are the different presentation types we are interested in: idea, product, investor. Oh, crap. I lost my screen. Business expert, past organizations and past presenters as well. Quick reminder, you guys are all awesome. Keep on being awesome. Thank you so much for coming out each week. Without you, it would just be a room by myself. So thank you for showing up each week. So the big question for today was, what is 1MC's Denver's favorite Thanksgiving food? And the answer is stuffing. Stuffing is the answer, not turkey. Everybody likes that stuffing. So awesome. Quick shout out to the org team, myself, Gregarious, Kevin, Carter, and Allie. Thank you for helping out. We're always looking for more help, especially finding more entrepreneurs to present, grow our pipeline. So if you're interested in helping us out, please reach out to me or Allie, Gregarious, or anybody on the team. And that's all I have. Let's give a big round of applause to everybody in the room for coming out.
Can I ask, or did you already ask Nick before I got him on, how many of you guys consider yourselves an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I sent that to you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
We aren't meeting next week, so have a week off and we'll see you guys in December. Have a good holiday.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Nick, how have you been feeling with COVID though?
Fine. Normal.
Hi. Nice to meet everyone.
Bye, Jess.
Bye, Jess.
Bye.
Yeah. Like back to normal yet? Or?
Yeah. I went out mountain biking last Friday. My chest definitely felt the effects of not exercising for 2 weeks, but I feel pretty normal. It's great.
Awesome, man. No,
Yeah.
that's good.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Well, enjoy your Thanksgiving week, everyone.
Thanks, Eric.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.